So, student, let's begin with the stanza-wise explanation. So, let me read first stanza for you all. So, the first stanza is like Ons Jennifer Tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So, in a simple sense, what you can say that the first stanza opens with Ons Jennifer visual tapestry of a tiger who is actually fearless of their environment. Here you can say the word bright topaz denizen of a world of green that actually evoke an image that these tigers are unafraid of other beings in the jungle, you can say. Here, bright signifies their powerful and radiant persona, the persona of a tiger, and there is a sense of certainty and confidence in the way that the tigers move as can be seen in a line. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So, here actually you can see over here that Ons Jennifer seems to be creating her own world, and Ons Jennifer tiger are not real or living tigers, I would say. They are images created by her own on tapestry. Tapestry means you can say a kind of a panel, and Ons Jennifer, who is held captive by the oppressive hand of a patriarchal society. So the meaning of patriarchal society I did tell you earlier, and that actually creates in her art of alternate world of freedom. So you can say the tiger represent her dreams, her desire to be free from constant fear and oppression that govern her life. Now you can say these majestic and fearless tigers also present a sharp contrast to Ons Jennifer herself, who is bound by the contrast of married life, you can say. Here you can see the line, they pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So here they is for the tiger who actually roams about in a very robust and in a very bright way without getting afraid from anybody in the jungle, and it has been used as a contrast to Ons Jennifer herself, who is bound by the constraint of a married life. So this is the small explanation of stanza 1. Now let's read out the stanza 2 for you all. So the lines are, Ons Jennifer figures fluttering through her wool, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Ons Jennifer hand. So in the second stanza, what you can see is that Ons Jennifer appears to be creating a beautiful image of a tiger by using a wool. But she finds it quite hard to pull even the ivory of the needle. And why is it so then? She is so terrorized, and I would say she is so tortured, that she is unable to carry the weight of a wool also. And that is a very surprising thing for her. Her fingers seems to be flutter. The uncle's wedding band seems heavily on her hand, and it actually suggests that she feels burdened with the marital responsibilities, you can say. So in a nutshell, what you can say that through this stanza, the poet wants to convey the fact that a woman actually throughout her lifetime works to glorify the tiger. So here I did tell you earlier, the tiger here is a symbolic form which has been used contrast to Ons Jennifer world. And Also, tiger here can be glorified as her husband, who is supposed to be the head of the patriarchal society, and she feels so much subjugated that the marital bond becomes a burden on her. This is also a reality of Ons Jennifer life, you can say. And you can also say that the reality of Ons Jennifer is revealed a kind of that she is feeble, weak, and enslaved. Her physical and the mental trauma is depicted in the line. You can easily figure it out from here. Find even the ivory needle hard to pull. Now this is the line where actually shows her physical and mental trauma. Even though the wedding ring doesn't weigh much, you can say the massive weight of uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Ons Jennifer. That actually signifies the amount of dominance her husband has exercised upon her, because since he belongs to a kind of a family where male members are given a kind of priority. So this is supposed to be the explanation of stanza 3rd. Now let's start with the explanation of stanza 3rd. So the lines are: when aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie still, ringed with the ordeals she was mastered by. The tiger in the panel and she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. So the final stanza reveals a kind of a sad truth that is quite obvious from this particular line. And the poet says that even death will not be able to release Aunt Jennifer from the trauma she had to undergo during her lifetime. So this is what the poet wants to say, and her life will be a story of her ordeals and the oppressions that she was subjugated to. So here one word is given, that is a ordeal. Ordeal means unpleasant or painful experience, you can say. So the tiger created by her will be eternal, you can say, and they will always be proud and unafraid. Here we get the glimpse of a oft-quoted conventional theme in the poetry, that actually art endures beyond human life, you can say. So the poet wants to say that the women themselves are creating these tigers, and they actually need to break their shackles and be unafraid like the tiger themselves. And the tiger which has been used over here as just contrast to the world created by Ons Jennifer. So one more thing that can be referred from the poem is that Ons Jennifer, who for long was borne the misery she was subjugated to, now longs for freedom from dominance and male chauvinism. So I have used the word chauvinism, or the chauvinistic society, you would say. So the meaning of chauvinism means you are going to give the priority to a certain section of a society. That is, you are favoring, you are doing a kind of a partiality. That is what chauvinism is. So here, in other words, you can say that the term chauvinistic society is somewhere related to patriarchal society, where the male members are given a kind of a priority. So this is supposed to be the small explanation of the stanza 3. Thank you.